I feel superhuman.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Miro Perry, and let's see if I could tell a different story. I may come at this kind of intellectually speaking, logically speaking. I've benefited from a very peaceful childhood, very few incidences, but I can remember a few, but very, very blessed with great parents that got along and everything. But there was something in me that always wanted to be a healer and find out how the mind works and how spirit and energy and different things. So I've done a lot of coursework as well throughout the years. And when I met my sweetheart there, she was such a powerful, enthusiastic healer, especially for women, that I wanted to find the next level, basically. That's what I wanted to do, find the next level up. And I just started searching the internet and searching the internet. And I have developed intuition through kind of an intellectualized spiritual self of mine. And when I stumbled onto this website, I started reading it. I loved the way his website went. I loved his testimonials, his explanation. And my little thing said, "Nee, nee, 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 nee." I think I found something, something different. This may be the one. And I basically just said, "Babe, I signed us up for a training." And I said, we're going to sharpen our skills even more. Because I'm certified in natural health, I'm certified in hypnosis, I'm certified in tapping and different things. And I belong to a spiritual community, and I do some teaching and book studies and different things like that. And so my testimony is, we learn so much. You're going to learn so much. It's going to be very, very wonderful, very positive for you. I was able to take subtle problems, like my 20-year-old son who wasn't working at the time, and I was trying to encourage him and talk with him, and he was running around and not answering his cell phone and all this different stuff. And I said, man, I love him so much. I want him to do well. I don't want him to fall off into the disempowered range just by maybe hanging around with the wrong people. And so I did some work using 7 steps on how I felt about our lack of connection and what I wanted for him. And when I got done with that, later on in the evening, or it may have been the very next morning, I called, didn't get through to him, I called his mom, and his mom said, guess what? He's at work. And it was just so wonderfully synchronistic, because he was not working the day before, but something happened that day while I was in class, and someone offered him a job, and he really enjoys it. He's still in that job 6 months later and has bumped up the scale and just shifted. And I just felt tremendously good about that, because that was in alignment with me shifting my perception that I have a challenge here. And so now I get to go roll up to where my son works and walk in and, enjoy a quick moment with him. And it's just like a night and day viewpoint. And that's just one of my testimonials, but I have used it in other ways and used it with my mother, who's 91 years old. And I see the shifts, and it's always improvement. No matter whether you think it's a little thing or a big thing, when you do the steps, you get an improvement. And that's what I wanted to say. So thank you again, Arnoux.
Thank you, Miro.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
For your free training on how to skyrocket energy levels in 30 minutes or less, visit TotalHealthMasteryUSA.com. The results and benefits of our training program are only available to members of our private association.